Alright, welcome on in everyone to First CSP for another episode of the Sunday Special. In this episode, we're actually going to be updating a previous First CSP episode, episode 131, where we took a look at Cape Cod and Islands 224 out of Massachusetts. We've found some additional information on early CSPs for the Council. There is a great YouTube channel hosted by Larry Lane entitled Boy Scout Memorabilia Collecting, and I will make sure I link that channel below. And in a specific episode, he has a presentation from Andrew McCann, who is originally from the Council and is a collector of the Council's CSPs. He does a great presentation over the history of CSPs for the Council, and very specifically notes 4 S-1 CSP variations with some additional information. I will link that specific episode in the description below as well. But let's head on over to the patch table, take a look at the information we had originally presented, and then expand upon it with the newly found information from this great presentation by Andrew McCann. So on the patch table here, I have the 2 CSPs that I had originally highlighted in our episode 131, where we had listed this CSP at the top as an S1A variation and at the bottom an S1B variation. Now, it's important to note that all of these distinctions have essentially been merged into a single CSP in the more recent collecting guides. It's the older guides that had any differentiation at all, and those guides only separated into 2 variants, the A and the B. Now the difference between those two is in the S1A, they listed thick waves and gulls, and in the S1B, they listed thin waves and gulls. And so by looking at these original CSPs, I said, well, that's a thick wave, that's a thin wave, those are the 2 varieties. Here we have an S1A and an S1B. Unfortunately, that has proven to be incorrect when we have a collector of the Council specifically be able to illustrate the very first CSPs from their collection. There's pictures and videos in that presentation, again, that I'll have linked below. Most specifically, there is a major difference in the very first CSP produced. So let's bring that out. We have been able to add one to our collection, and so the S1A, as it was originally designated, specifically has the greenery go all the way to the water. It is the only patch that did so. Again, if we look at this, what we formerly had listed as an S1A, you can see all the rest will follow this pattern where the green goes to the lighthouse but doesn't go to the edge of the shore. So as such, this patch here up top would be the S1A, and it does have even thicker waves, I will note, but was unaware to us because when we looked at our collection and tried to compare it to the older collecting guides descriptions for A and B, we thought we had a thicker wave and a thinner wave, and we thought we had the examples of what had been made. That's all the information we had at the time. So this is going to be your S1A, and then here, anything else, anything that's following the pattern here with the green just going to the lighthouse but not to the shore, all of those, and there are 3 production runs. You can see all 3 in the video linked below. All 3 would be technically by the book considered S1Bs in the old classification system. Again, we have 2 of them. The third one, which I believe was the last produced, has much lighter water. We don't happen to have one of those in our collection, but we do have these 2, which we had formerly presented. But these would both now be considered Bs. So we've got the S1A, which has an older style plastic back. These are now considered S1Bs. They do also have plastic backs. And then from the video presentation, we actually learned of one additional S1 variant that's never been cataloged in the CSP collecting guides, and that is the Troop 63 variation of the S1. We were able to obtain one of those after seeing the video as well, so we're excited to bring this to you. Troop variants for CSPs are relatively rare in general, and this is the only one that I'm aware of that came in an S1 first issue style variation. Now, I guess because they had in the older collecting guides an S1A and an S1B, this would probably be an S1C. It doesn't really have any specific classification or distinction, but it's fun that it exists, and we're excited that we're able to bring you a copy. You can see it's very long because it does, from the manufacturer, include the troop number, Troop 63, and it is also displayed in that Cape Cod and Islands video that we've got linked below, which continues on with the subsequent CSPs in the history of the Council. Obviously, this channel is really focused on the first issue and first issue variations, but really excited that we were able to bring you the S1A first variation and an update to our previous video. That's one of the things that's really great about this format, is as we get new information, as it comes available and we are aware of it, we're able to, in our Sunday specials, update, and I'll also in the description of our original 131 put information letting people know that it's been updated with this specific Sunday special. So the key part here, again, probably easier than the thickness of the waves and the gulls, is you're looking for the grass going all the way to the water for that S1A, and any of the rest would be technically considered S1B variants. Nowadays, as I've said, all of these would just be listed as S1, but I think it does a little bit of a disservice to take out when the difference of the grass is distinct in that first one at the top. Again, our goal here is just to provide you, the viewers, with as much information as possible. It's not to say that, you know, this patch is the only first issue and that one's not a first issue or whatnot. We just like to show people what exists. It's up to you, if you're a collector, what you'd like to collect or not. But I hope you have found this additionally informative, and we're excited to be able to bring you these additional pieces now in our collection to give you as much of the story as possible. Again, the channel, Larry Lane's channel, Boy Scout Memorabilia Collecting, will be linked below, and then also a separate link specifically to the video that's covering Cape Cod and Islands, highlighting Andrew McCann's collection. Do go check those out, support them as well. And we'll be back again tomorrow with another brand new episode of First CSP. I want to thank you all for stopping in today, and we hope to see you on the next episode.